All right, guys. No, Krishan, thanks. We are just starting. Hope you can hear me now. We haven't started yet. Nothing to worry. Hope you all can hear me clearly. Please let me
Yeah,
know
we
whether
can
you
hear
can
you.
hear me and also see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Perfect, perfect. Let's start then. Uh, so right time is almost 7 past 10. Give me a second. Okay. So, okay, let's start with the second session for bug bounty or bounty hunting. It's not truly web bounties, but we have talked last time. We are going to talk about malware. We are going to talk about smart contract hacking, and also like I don't have to go from the beginning, right? So the idea is to very clearly earn money out of it, right? There's nothing more, right? Nothing less, nothing more. It's very clearly to earn money. So it's not probably uh, like, of course, there are these days like there are so many classes, boot camps, how to earn money through in the internet. It's something similar. There's no big difference, but if there's a difference, the difference would be we are using scientific approach, right? So we are not just assuming that YouTube is hot, so we have to create YouTube, or now Instagram is hot, so you need to create Instagram, or now it's all about AI videos from Sinhala and all that. So yeah, so trends are also important, but we had to, when we are working on something, you have to be futuristic. We have to have a scientific approach. So that's what we are planning for. Hope it's all right. So this is our overall logic, right? So let's see how we are supposed to work it around. And also what I'm trying to or basically to promise you all is that when we are going to deal with that, we need to make sure that we know the basics. You have to be brilliant on our basics. I mean, like if you don't truly understand the basics, it's very hard for us to do anything. Of course, we can automate something. You can use even AI to automate things. Today also we'll do some sessions on that. But you have to know the fundamentals. So all my sessions, I'm going to work on fundamentals. As an example, so let's start with something not even remotely related, right? Is there any maths guy here? Anyone who is doing maths? No, no one. Uh, do you hate my? If there's anyone who hates math, oh, okay, Shanuka, thanks. Yeah, if is there anyone who hates math? Right. So this when I was born in 80s, my most of my friends did hate maths because I would say like they were not taught maths in a fun way, right, or interesting way, right? This is what happens in the reality, right? It's very hard to find good maths teachers. You can't just blame maths teachers. It's the curriculum, the way how it's been taught, right? So so there should be some interest, right, for mathematics. So if somebody asks about theory of everything, so please mind with me, right? පොඩ්ඩක් ගණන් ගන්න එපා මොනවද මේක මේ කියවන්නේ කියලා cyber security කරනවට පස්සේ මොනවද මේ කියන්නේ කියලා. But if somebody ask, oh, is there a movie called Theory of Everything? I haven't watched it yet anyway. So Theory of Everything. How many of you have heard about Theory of Everything? Anyone here have a good grasp on the idea of Theory of Everything? Okay, anyone? Good. Can you please explain in however the way possible? It doesn't matter whether even I don't know much about it. පොඩ්ඩක් ඉවසන්න මේ cyber security දී මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ කියලා මේ මොකද්ද මේක පාඩම මේ අකා කියන්නේ කියන එක තියෙනවා. Anyone want to give a bit of a explanation, like at least the base idea of what is it? All right. So we all are living in this thing called the world, and we are in the solar system and we are in the universe. And still, you don't know why you are here, right? So again, I'm not. මම මේ බණ දේශනා කරන නේ පොඩි concept එකක් දෙන්න යන්නේ ඔළුවට හොඳටම ගන්න මේක. right? So why you are here, where you go after, where did you come from? මේ religion එක ගැනත් නෙමෙයි worry වෙන්න එපා. අපි science කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. science කියන්නේ what is the truth, right? What is the true thing in the world? එතකොට western science, eastern science කියලා එක තියෙනවා, philosophies තියෙනවා. ඒවා philosophies. These can be not psychology, philosophies. Different people can have their own way of the truth, right? It can be religious based or just like darshanavada කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්, anti religious වෙන්න පුළුවන්, or just this what you call as the science or western science as we say it. But one thing about science in western science is that science grows or evaluate or evolve. එතකොට ඒක ට්‍රුත්ම නෙමෙයි සමහරවිට. හැබැයි ඉතින් ideal science එක කියලා කියන්නේ proper truth එක world එකේ. atom එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාගේ ඇඟේ කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? atom එක අල්ලන්න පුළුවන්ද බැයිද? Something like that. So anyway, let's make it quick. So theory of everything is what is the current model. It shouldn't be mathematical, right? It can be some වාක්‍යයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. It's kind of a topic, sorry, not a topic, some sentences that can explain. It's as it says, the master theory, hypothetical, singular, all encompassing, coherent, theoretical, blah 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 blah. What do you mean by this universe? ඉතින් මේකට මේ equation එකකුත් තියෙනවා. equation එක හදලා තියෙනවා. ගොඩක් කට්ටිය තුලා සෑහෙන කට්ටක් කාලා equation පස්සේ බලමු. So මේක තමයි theory of everything. ඒතර quantum gravity කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක බෙදනවා space curvature. ඊට පස්සේ තියෙනවා electromagnetic forces, strong force කියලා තියෙනවා, weak force කියලා තියෙනවා, magnetism, electricity, gravity ඔන්න වගේ තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මේකේ gravity සම්බන්ධයෙන් පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නක් තියෙනවා. Anyhow, so this is trying to explain everything. ඉතින් ඔකත් එක චුට්ටක් බලමු මේක දිහා. හරි? මම මේ කඩක් ගාලා එන්නම්. මේ how many of you know about differential equations? Probably not a lot of you, right? Because we haven't learned a lot about maths. හරි ඉතින් මේකේ තියෙනවා මෙන්න මේක මොකක්ද? මේ නිව්ටන් සෙකන්ඩ් ලෝ එක. දැන් මේක තේරෙනවද? දැන් මේක තේරෙන mathsම ඕනේද? ඊළඟ next question එක. Right? Then something called harmonic oscillator. Again, do we really need maths? But if you truly understand this, the logic of it, biggest problems in the real world or the biggest engineering implementations do use this equation. ඔන්න තමයි fun එක තියෙන්නේ. මේක පොඩ්ඩක් ඇඟට ගන්න බලන්න පොඩ්ඩක්. හරි? logically ගන්න බලන්න. හරි? ඊට පස්සේ radioactive decay. Again මේකත් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. අපි හැමදාම පාවිච්චි කරනවා මේක. හරි? ඉතින් අදහස් කරන්නේ මේක පාවිච්චි කරන engineersලා මේක පාවිච්චි කරලා they do things, you know. Logistic growth equation කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක ඉතින් again they use it for several other things like economics too, everything. PDs කියලා දෙනවා, partial differential equations. ඊට පස්සේ Laplace equation කියලා තියෙනවා. අපි මේව වැදගත් නෑ මේ වෙලාවේදී. අපි පස්සේ දවසක බලමු. ගොඩක් මේක කියන්න ඕන එන්න Friday session එකට. Maths fun කරන්නයි යන්නේ. Anyway, Maxwell equation. Maxwell equations are very important. Quantum theory වලට everything. Sorry, not quantum theory, about most of the things, right? ඔයගේ තියෙනවා. හරි. දැන් මේ කතාව ඇති දැන්. නැත්තම් බලයි what is it කියලා. Right? Again, theory of everything එකත් ඇති. So now one simple message here. When you want, it doesn't matter, like now people are saying AI එනවා jobs නැති වෙනවා. අර කෙනවා මේක නැති වෙනවා. මේක එනවා මේක නැති වෙනවා. But if you are strong on your fundamentals, fundamental එකක් තියෙනවනේ. The something called fundamental. මේ theory of everything කියන්නේ fundamental එකක්. දැන් මේක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට කියවලා ඉගෙන ගන්න තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් පහවසට ළමයෙකුටත්. ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. YouTube එකේ series එකක් තියෙනවා මේ, that's a series in YouTube teaching all those theoretical things which can be, එක මතට wired කියන කෙනෙක් කරන්නේ this channel for students to understand, kids to understand. So once you understand this, you understand the world better. So that's my logic. So even what I'm trying to say, we can automate things today with say cursor, anything. I'll show you how to do some of those things also, but really important to understand the fundamentals. If you don't know the fundamentals, guys, that's where you need these sessions, right? My session neka, and I'll give you additional more resources to understand. So let's go back with that concept. Summary the summary of what I tried to, you know, work around up to this point. So these 10 minutes are very important. You have to be fundamentally strong, or you have to say brilliant on your basics. Google under say brilliant. Brilliant on your basics. Right? Yeah. brilliant on your basics. Leading to lead, brilliant on basics. Yeah. And then පොතකුත් ඇති මේකේ. හරි. ඒකම තමයි මේ brilliant කියලා site එකකුත් තියෙන්නේ. If you guys really want to learn maths and everything, yeah, this site is pretty great. ඒකේ නම දාලා තියෙන brilliant කියලා කියන්නේත් ඒකම තමයි. You have to know the basics. So I'll cover some of those things in the critical, but when there's any need to learn about, say, cryptography, I'll teach you from that aspect, right? I'll show you things from here. I don't think there's no problem of showing those things. So even things like cryptography is taught here, and even things like how AI works, how cryptocurrency works, how quantum computing works. So you can learn it in a very visual way, which is quite interesting. Anyway, so now the message is given clearly. You have to know your basics. So then suddenly, if you try to find anything in what you create in bug bounty, if you want to earn $1 million, don't get stuck. That's the thing. Now, I'll show you a quick example, which I'm trying to show you today, which I'll open Cursor. So this is a kind of a framework which I built with Cursor to test. Sorry about it, guys. I tried to close WhatsApp for a moment. Right, it's okay. Right. So so what's happening here is that I'll teach you this anyhow. You can basically set up to test any website, right? You can set up to test any website for its bugs using automated, or simple automation. So I have created the environment for this. As an example, I have given all the configurations, and also I have created some test. So if you have to do this manually, it'll take a long time, even with tools like Burpsuit, Kali Linux, but with Python and of course agents, you can do it so fast. But now, if you don't know classes, okay, that's the other problem comes. එහෙම කියලා මේ ගිල ඔක්කොම ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. අපි මොකක් කරද්දී අපි basics cover කරගමු. And then you find classes, and suddenly you find something called, say, let's go through, and of course, say in Python, what is def? What do you mean by creating a function, right? And so basically, what is an IDO? Exactly, I don't know what are IDOs, right? And test for XSS, cross-site scripting, right? How do you make a request online? I'll teach you those, but learn the basics. So even if you go to, say, this is how we are learning, right? The basics. If you go to Lovable, okay, Lovable Dev or V0 Dev, you have to know to learn about the basics of, say, so cross-site scripting, right? You have to basically understand, yeah, so projects, how HTTP works. So now, if you don't love to go and learn it on a lesson, this is what you can do, right? So let's start a new project, learning HTTP to hack, right? Okay, that's fine. So you have 7 users left, that's fine. Ask question to learning HTTP hack. Create me a simple web page for me to learn HTTP. So you can work with the tool like this, and it will create a web page as well. That's the fun part. So it'll be a little bit creative. Don't worry. I'll give you a lot of prompts, fun prompts, which you guys can use. But if you thought, no, mataram macam me HTTP තේරෙන්නෙම නැහැ, work with this. Even Lovable is almost same, right? You can do crazy things with this. I'll show you how to use a tool like this to learn things on real time in real world. So Lovable is such a tool. V0 by Versal is such a tool. So even Cursor also you can, let me show you quickly. I think, yeah, V0 is still creating it. My network is a little bit slow today. Use now, that's fine, got it. Yeah, create a HTML web page to log in a user. Okay, let's, yeah, this guy is pretty slow, V0, for some reason. Now you can see it does it. Right? So it's thinking. You can also try it out if you want right now. Yeah, it's a beautiful modern login page for you. This will be a sleek design, blah, 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 blah. So you can see it creates a index.css. Maybe you don't know CSS, but don't worry. You can still learn it in this way. Keep it simple, then you can learn. So I'll come back to this later on because I have a lot to cover. But this is the second thing that I want to say. You have to be brilliant on your basics. Now you have to touch on your basics. One, of course, you can go and start watching all FreeCAD CodeCam videos. What is HTTP? What is HTML? That's a one method. But here, most of you, some of you maybe have done a degree. So it's all good, right? But what I'm trying to say is now there are newer methods of learning like this way. So this is where you have to be a little bit smarter. So let it work. So now the third thing that I want to say is in these bug bounty sessions, we have like 2 hour sessions, right? And also I'll create more videos for you guys to watch, probably offline, but we'll try our level best to have it fixed into these 2 hours. We'll do practical things so we get that momentum going. We can watch it. And also we'll try to touch on basics. But remember, more you know about this roadmap, it's better. So we will have a quick uh, kind of, how would I say, quick look into these things. So let's start with something like front end. And Baranda Ogolo, you guys probably coming from different backgrounds. I don't really care, right? Whatever the background, you need to know hell a lot about these things. If you don't know most of it, because most of the websites are created using a front end. So if you guys don't know much about front ends or how it's created, how programmers have created it, developers have created it, you're going to basically have a very hard time basically to understand these things, right? So then the question is, have I need to go and do a complete course? No, you don't have to. If you want, you can do, but we can learn while you're doing this. So basic things like what is HTTP? And this is where what I told you earlier, you have to know the fundamental. මොකද්ද බං මේ HTTP කියන්නේ? ඒතර මේක TCP web එක සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? HTML කොහෙද දුවන්නේ? ඔන්න ඕකේ ක්ලියර් අවුට්කම් එකක් හදා ගන්න ඕනේ. සෝරි ක්ලියර් අවුට්කම් එක නෙවෙයි ක්ලියර් සෙපරේෂන් එක හදා ගන්න. මේක අරකට වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? HTTP උඩ HTTPS දුවන්නේ කොහොමද? ඔන්න ඔය ටික දන්නේ නැත්නම් අපි ඒක ක්ලියර් අවුට් කර ගන්නවා. So once you know that, as an example, how HTTP works in coding level, that's much better. So go to this one, right? So you can take probably 5-10 minutes and make sure you know the fundamentals. But so see how fun it is to learn in these particular websites or given. So this resource is a tremendous resource. ඔයාට මේ class වලට ගිහලා සල්ලි ගෙවලා ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. So you can basically learn everything from a place like this. There are even these things called episodes. Right? So why do we need HTTPS? All right. So once you go there, why do we need HTTPS? We need, it's like comic based, right? We need HTTPS for 3 reasons: privacy, integrity, identification. And then, of course, we have a certifier called certificate, right? And the computer. So I'm not going to explain it right now, but you probably got the logic. Let me go and see what's happened to my, okay, it's there. There's too much, right? So because if I go to the code, so I might not be able to understand how this color is being added, why the Google is added here. It's a complete one, but you can always instruct Lovable to give us the simplest page. So of course you can go and I think you can go and get the code. Yep. This is how you get the code. Yeah. So this is the code basically. So I have not instructed, don't use any other products and all that, but you can. I'll showcase, don't worry. I'll show you how we do that without just using HTML, even not without using CSS, that you can do. It's easy to do in tool like Cursor. But if you have not watched my video on the LLM session on how to set up Gemini Express, I will teach you that also. So if not, you can go and watch. Then you can do all those funny stuff there, right? But this is a complete web page. You have a robot docs text and SVG and also other things, right? So this is it's a kind of big one. This is HTML. This is what you really needed. And then you can learn what is head, what is meta. You can start writing that. But if you think, yes, you have to. So once you do that, it's much easier. You will understand everything that happens. Now, today we are going to work with Burpsuit and the tool called Kaido. So once you see something, you can clearly understand what's happening. ඉගෙන ගන්න කාලේ මේවා දැක්කම අයියෝ මොන මගුලක්ද මේ හිතනවා. But now we are doing it for earn $1 million. So you should have the motivation. Right. Anyway, so let's quickly go through. And what is NPM? Node Package Manager. එතන මේක ගැන අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. So again, I told you, now it's time to learn. So I'm not going to talk too much because we are going to learn things. මේක මම කිව්වා පළවෙනි දවසෙත් මම හිතන්නේ. But දැන් අද මොන හරිද අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්නේ ඒක specific දේවල් ටිකක්. So we'll come to that, right? So but hereafter, every session, like half an hour, we are going to touch on one of those roadmaps and we are going to do something and we are going to learn something. අද අපි එක දෙයක් ඉගෙන ගමු. So ඒක දේ තමයි, right? So any questions up to this point? Now you know what we are planning to do, right? So we're doing practical activity. We are going to work on the fundamentals and we are going to learn some news, right? And also we'll introduce a tool. Likewise, like we break things or break our 2 hours into parts. And it's going to be interesting rather than just listening. At one time, you guys also needs to communicate and do stuff and show it to everyone, right? So that's how we're going to do it, right? So so at least like today, just go and read the front end and also probably the back end as well. That's lot to learn there. So these two things is good starting point for web-based bug bounties, right? So then of course mobile is important for mobile-based bounties, like bug bounties. And if you're going to do machine learning based bug bounties, ML ops, things like that. And there's so much more. For the moment, I'll close these two things. Just it's my internet out. Right. Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about today, a little bit about programming languages. So let me check whether programming language leaderboard. So this is also important. I'm not talking too much. It'll be interesting. How many of you have, professionally learned programming languages? Anyone? Anyone in your lifetime you've learned programming language professionally? Now for all bounty hunting, all cybersecurity, you need to be good in coding. Of course, now I told you last time also, we have Cursor, we have Windsurf, we have all the Gemini, CLI, Gemini, and all these tools. But learn programming. Once you learn, you become like Hercules or whatever, like, you be Superman, right? So again, do you really need to write everything? No, learn the basics, learn what's at least what are the differences, right? Anyone here who learn programming or are a programmer right now in the industry? Yep, guys, don't worry to talk, right? Yep, anyone? How many of you work with JavaScript these days? Raise your hands. JavaScripts? One. Rust, Go. Okay, so let's go and see. So these are you won't believe there are thousands of programming languages in the world, right? So of course, Python seems to be at the top. My goodness, is it? Okay, right. So I think it's a good index. I just selected the first in the list. Yeah, but anyway, Python of like industrial applications came from 80s, 90s, all to 2000, all from C++. And most of the hardware applications, even Linux kernel is written from C, right? And my goodness, I do hate Java for several reasons. Not because of the language is bad, language is pretty amazing, but so many other reasons I hate Java. But we need to know a little bit of Java because the tool called Burpsuit, that is heavily used from Burpsuit Academy. This tool is written from Java to some matter, for some matter, right? So you can't just forget about Java. C# language from Microsoft. JavaScript. Oh, that's changed the world to some reasons. For some reason, now JavaScript would be everywhere. Some people say it's not even a language; it's just like set of snippets, like a shell code. But JavaScript is a language. It has beauty in it. So we'll talk about these things. සමහර එකපාරට නිකන් මෙයා මොනවද මේ කියවන්න කියලා තෙන්න පුළුවන්. but මේක ඉගෙන ගන්න චුට්ටක් මාත් එකට මේක programming language වල සමහර දේවල් ඉගෙන ගත්තාම so that's question. I heard the backend of Python is C++. Python වල backend එක languages keeping in ලියලා තියෙනවා. We'll talk about it in one, right? Different implementations තියෙනවා, right? හැබැයි ගොඩක් කොහෙ ගියත් end of the day assembling හැමදේම ලියන්න බැරි හින්දා we'll talk about it. We have to use a different layer. So we have to go to something like low level language. So we talk those things as well. There are multiple low level languages like Fortran, C, even Rust we can say a low level language these days, right? And then few other things. And of course C++ regard to be the like the master of all low level and mid level languages, because it was used heavily in 30, 40 years to build up more crazy applications, including most parts of Windows UI, right? Yeah, even I do, and a lot of people do. Hackers do love Windows kernel and DLS because they can hack it, but a lot of people do hate C++. The same reason it's used for Windows and JavaScript. And Go is kind of a fun language and getting quite popular among everyone else. And Visual Basic and Visual Basic is probably used, but we haven't seen that much. And of course, Perl and PHP. It's so huge. Probably, Joomla and all the frameworks, still PHP is being used. And there was a point where 60% of the internet was PHP, but not now. And of course, assembly and Kotlin, and of course, you can't forget about assembly. And also, the Rust is important because when you compare uh, Rust with C versus C, there's a lot to learn, or C++, there's a lot to learn. And one good reason why Rust should be used, some people don't like it, but some people do say a lot. You can, of course, read the Reddit posts. You guys have to get familiarized. If you never use Reddit, create a login and probably follow these subreddits, because simply reason is it's secure. C is not secure. Take my word on it. I have worked with C. It's not secure. Even though we try level bus to make it secure, most of the systems who develop from C can be hacked, including Linux. Linux means Windows, Windows means Mac, Mac means everything, right? Down under the world, under the stars, everything can be hacked because, yeah. So a lot of things were rewritten in Rust, but again, that's not a single language in the world without any problem or security problem. So that's why we love security, right? So whatever the fuck, so sorry for using that word, they come up with, you can hack it, right? So there are so much vulnerabilities every day they add up. But read this, it can be useful. And then, of course, today is not the day, but we go and learn about so many other things about programming. And again, I'll tell you. So this is like the fourth point for today. Why the hell we have to work with programming? Because when you're there, cybersecurity, end of the day, remember, everything runs on coding, code, instructions, assembly. So once we know these things, we have an upper edge, for malware hunting to forensics to bug hunting to reverse engineering, all that. This is the, yeah. So ඒ වෙලාවේ දැන් මෙච්චර කාලෙ දැන් මම මේක අවුරුදු 10කට කලින් උගන්වද්දී people hated programming, a lot of people, but now you don't have to. ඒක තමයි pin වෙලා bubble එක cursor, you can ask these tools to write coding for you. ඔයා මේ coding වලට ආස නම් no problem at all. ඒක තමයි maths උත් මං කිව්වේ. maths උත් දැන් අපිට online create කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් මෙච්චර කාල ලෝකෙ ගොඩක් මිනිස්සු අලුත් දේවල් හැදුවේ නැත්තේ මේ දෙක දන්නේ නැති හින්දා. අපි කියන්නේ ඉන්වෙන්ෂන් නම් නෙමෙයි, ඉනෝවේෂන් උත් නෙමෙයි. හැබැයි සයන්ස් බේස් ඉනෝවේෂන්ස් ආවේ නැත්තේ මේ හේතුව හින්දා. දැන් ඒ ගැන worry වෙන්න දෙයක්වත් නැහැ, excuses දෙන්නත් බෑ. Of course, innovations come from different ways, right? Designers comes with, architects come with innovations, just everyday people comes with. But bigger problem comes when you want to do real world engineering applications. You have to make sure it's scientific. Science means, of course, major part would be engineering dynamics, and then of course that means maths. And then if the software creativity comes in, so or software development comes in, a lot of people hate maths and coding, right? But you don't have to hate maths and coding. Just learn it like enough. So now, of course, there are so many other languages. We'll understand how and why they are coming to the top, and why people hate or why people love and all that. So I do suggest you to go and watch the newest Lex Friedman. How many of you watched Lex Friedman? Friedman. Friedman. if you go and watch this guy, he was a initially lecturer from MIT, but I don't think he's doing any lectures anymore. He has this nice YouTube channel. There are 800 videos. Again, you need a lifetime to watch all these things. Watch this guy. Anyone knows about DHH? I only watched few minutes. Yeah, only 23 minutes. But I basically put it into the Perplexity and got the full idea out of it. Anyone uh, knows who is DHH? Yeah, if you're in Silicon Valley, everybody knows about him. This guy is a funny guy. He's, I think, he was a Danish guy or then from Denmark, maybe. Yeah. But why he's important? Because he's the creator of Ruby on Rails, another great, you know, programming language, and so many other things. If you haven't read this book called Rework, please read it. Yeah, it's almost 40 minutes gone, but I probably haven't touched any cybersecurity, but yeah, please take my word on this. This is more important. Yeah, so anyway, watch this. So he talks about all programming languages, how things works out, how AI works out, and basically, end of the day, it's all related to cybersecurity. Okay, that's enough. Right. Any questions up to this point? So summarizing, so make sure you go to the basics and you need to cover these roadmaps. So you have to know the stacks. If somebody asks what is full stack, yeah. So let's try to now go and try to get some knowledge and check whether you are aware or clear about these things. Now, don't worry because this is just to test your knowledge, nothing more. If you don't know anything, that's good because you are here because of that. Okay. So this is bug bounty, SQL injection. What is the most effective way to prevent SQL injections? Oh, you guys can see the answer, right? Anyway, it's all right. So if you have never heard about SQL injections, it's all right, right? This is just to test your knowledge. Input validation, parameterized queries, web application firewall, URL encoding. Anyone? Most effective way. So then you have to know what is SQL injection, right? We learn it. And do we still use SQL? Yeah, we do use, right? So what is the NoSQL? Yeah, that is also important for hacking. We learned that, don't worry. And mind map backup, this is cybersecurity, right? So of course the answer is parameterized queries. So we'll see why and how. And what is XSS detection? Which of the following payloads is most likely to bypass a basic XSS filter? Yeah, so we learn XSS. I'm not going to take too much of time, but you can check whether you do know the answers for this. If you don't know the answers for this, there's a lot to learn for you guys. If you know the answers, that's great. You can just quickly jump in. Which HTTP method is inherently protected against CSRF attacks? Get, post, put, none of the above. So then you have to know what is CSRF, cross-site request forgery, right? So then you have to know about HTTP methods, get, post, put. मुकदमे HTTP के लिए क्या for all that. So once you know the basics, the answer is so clear, right? And the authentication is so huge. Everywhere you go, you see authentication, right? And then we go down SSL TLS, and yeah, so you see. And even if you wanted to find something new, you can ask a question. Macha mein SSL TLS is apne alte hoagan be. You can, and people are doing that nowadays. Yeah. So this is we are going to do questions also. If you're getting ready for certification like OSCP to, I don't know, there are so many other good certifications in technical and managerial, all security stuff. Yeah. And also API security. So yeah, so there's a lot to learn. And cryptography, hashing, which of the following considered cryptographically broken? Oops. Okay. So you can't say so. Some of those, even the newer ones, can be broken, right? With once quantum is here. So what is the main difference between systematic and symmetric and asymmetric? Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things. And social engineering, OSINT tools, which tool is regard to be subdomain enumeration. Today we can use sublister. And of course, common rules, probably almost all of you have heard about this Nmaps to Wiresharks to Metasploit. Right, that's enough, I believe, right? So this is just to give you a synopsis of or to feel like there's what to be learned. But anyway, if you go under cybersecurity roadmap, you know exactly what you are supposed to learn, right? And you guys can even go to this one and create your own roadmap, what you're supposed to learn and everything, and keep a tab on what you're learning. And of course, you can see learning Python is important as cybersecurity guys. Go, quite important. There's no questions asked. Google created Go, and JavaScript's huge, C++ and Bash, and of course, finally PowerShell. And there are a few other, right? So Rust is another one. And yeah, people for several reasons they love it. Okay, fine. We'll comes to this news later on. So now let's go to HackerOne. I hope you guys have created accounts in HackerOne. If not, you can create now. And Bugcrowd. So we're going to start with some real world stuff now. Bug bounty, integrity, right? Integrity. You can even go and get account in ESV hack. And then of course you can go to sync, right? Sync hacking. Is it there's a dog? No, sneak, sorry, not sneak. It should be sneak. Yeah, so let's start. HackerOne. So let me start logging in. Last week also we have just touched on it, but today we'll try to understand how you all can do something today onwards on bug bounty. Bugcrowd, we log in. So make sure you create an account. So you can use best practices. You don't have to give your name for any of those. You can go on a different email address. So use the best practices, right? And guys, like you can use different emails, or you can use a VPN, right? So we'll talk about all these things. Registration has expired. Okay. All right. So that's Bugcrowd and integrity. This is a European-based site, I think. Yes. Yeah. So these two comes from US. That this is a European one. So ESV hack again, global bug bounty and vulnerability. So and Snake, and also we'll get a one probably VRP, which runs separately as Google. VRP Google. Yeah. So then there are so many other companies gives that. Okay. You can either work in one. So I have $0. That's fine. Let me log into this guy. So make sure you create one and make sure that you, yeah. So I haven't created account here, but we'll not do now as well. And yeah, these things we'll have a quick look at. Right. Now, what you're supposed to do. Now select an area, right? So of course, select a site and select an area. So we start with HackerOne. Right? Some of you probably have submitted bounties, but now we are going to specialize ourselves. Log in and just go and see, okay, there's opportunities, there's a dashboard, right? It'll probably take 15 minutes. And of course, there's so many things to learn here. Of course, they give out the OWASP top 10 areas where you can hack into. Don't worry, we are going to learn these things one after the other. So these are the top ones, injections. So this can be SQL and other injections. Broken authentication, again authentication වෙන කැඩිලා කොහේ හරි, right? Sensitive data exposures, XML external entities, broken access control, මේ authentication access control දෙකක් අපි ඔයත් ඉගෙන ගමු. Cross site script ඔය වගේ තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේකත් අලුත් වෙනවා සැරේට. ඔය ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ inbox එක වගේ emails. And then you have something called activity. මේක ගොඩක් වැදගත්. මොකද මේ වෙලාවේ මොනවද වෙන්න කියලා බලාගන්න. කවුද මොනවද කරන්න කියන හොයාගන්න මෙතනින් බලාගත්ත හැකි. ගොඩක් දේවල් වෙනවා. අපි එකක් ටක් ගාලා බලමු. ටිකක් වැඩිපුර සල්ලි හම්බෙච්ච කේස් එකක් තියෙනවද කියලා. එක ඩයලොග් ඉන්නවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 15000 20000 තමයි හම්බ කරන්නේ. right. so මේකක් බලමු ටක් ගාලා $500ක් හම්බෙච්ච කේස් එකක්. ඊළඟ සල්ලි වලින් රුපියල් කීයද? $500ක් මොනවද නැහැ. right. Okay, so then make a බලන්න පුළුවන් අපිට ගොඩක් ඒවා. It's a good thing. We can read over. Subdomain takeover on a subdomain under firefox.com. So once you read that, if you don't understand, that's the issue. Don't worry. We'll try to understand everything. What is a subdomain? What do you mean by a subdomain takeover? And on a subdomain under Firefox. So Firefox is a subdomain. Right. So steps to reproduce. So what you do is basically you have to do it and show it that you have done it, and you have to write an article or sorry, a kind of a documentation. And then what happens is make a submit karna mein hacker, mein aata mein hacker. You guys supposed to be somebody like this. He's Martin Van something. So his reputation is 934, and there are a few other things as well, some parameters. So you have to write it down. And basically from HackerOne triaged, and this is pronounced as triage. Triage meaning, make a product delivery, account Firefox product delivery. ඊට පස්සේ මේගොල්ලෝ කියනවා pending program review. Hello, I hope is well and thanks leaving message. I have managed to reproduce this report. I have managed to forward the reports to Mozilla. Blah blah blah. So you have to wait. So මේක දෙසැම්බර් 15 වෙච්ච දෙසැම්බර් වල දෙසැම්බර් 16 මැසේජ් එකක් එනවා. Frida කියලා කෙනෙක් Mozilla staff එකෙන්. Mozilla කියලා කියන්නේ කම්පැනි තමයි Firefox හදන්නේ. Change the scope of the product delivery to none. ඊට පස්සේ මේක ද triage stage එක ද triage stage එකෙන් තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ basic analysis එක කරන්නේ. You guys do the analysis. Thank you for the report. I have escalated the responsible team. And Mozilla staff again ඒගොල්ලෝ ගන්නවා 12 days. Sorry. It says updated 12 days ago, but anyway, yeah, almost like few days, right? Not 12 days. But anyway, they are saying, okay, directly they give out a $500 bounty. Thank you again for the report. It's a good report then, $500 give. Thank you for the bounty and prompt actions. ඊට පස්සේ close the report and send the resolve වෙනවා. We would like to disclose this report. ඊට පස්සේ Mozilla staff එක or this guy can ask to disclose this report. If you don't get it disclosed, we can't read it. මේ ටිකවත් අපිට කියවන්න බෑ. ඒක තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ. මේ ගොඩක් කටේ දන්නව ඇති. Sorry for that. I'm asking, just teaching you this for the people who don't have any idea. Don't worry, අපි ඉක්මනින්ම advance වලට එනවා. No problem. This report has been disclosed. දෙන්නම කැමති වෙන්න ඕනේ. The hunter or the hacker, or we can call cybersecurity engineer or whatever you call it. They both has to and then you can disclose the report. And Mozilla has locked the report as well. Yeah, so that's how it goes. So there are so many things you have to learn about here. There's a report ID and it says resolved, and here the participants are there, and reported to Mozilla and disclosed on 25th July. Oh, it's disclosed probably a few days back. Yeah, 12 days back. But it has gone, basically the payment was done within 4 to 5 days. And there's no CV involved. අපි බලමු මොනවද මේ CV එකක් involve වෙනවනම් involve වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? Yeah. So we have to go details now. අපි තව එකක් බලමු. Quickly we'll do. So you can see here CVs and CWs. We see the difference later, right? And go to the next page. And ගොඩක් ඒවා හිතෙනවා මේකදී මේ resolved හැබැයි සල්ලි හම්බෙලා නැහැ. ඉතින් කවුරු හිතන්න පුළුවන් මේ අයියෝ මේ වැඩක් නැහැ නේ කියලා. But you have to do these things as well. අපි මේවත් කියවන්න ඕනේ, but we'll go for a bit of a bigger one, right? And see. Yeah, there's a $5,000 one. Let's read it. We'll see whether it's report. Okay, it's there. So now the Hackerverse space wasp or something, all time 189. The signals and impacts are not there. Root Stock Labs. So that's the company. So soon as you find a company like this, just go and study. අපි දැන් ඊට පස්සේ මම පොඩි දෙයක් කියලා දෙන්න යන්නේ එකක් මම කියන්නම්. දැන් මේ කරන හැමදේම you guys have to like write down somewhere. Don't think if you just follow this another steps, you are going to be a successful bug bounty hunter. You can write it down if you want, or you can use a tool like Notion. Even there are Notion templates. If you want Notion templates for bug bounty. So use these things. Use scientific approach, right? Bug tracking templates you have, right? So you can see there are free ones and the paid ones. So there's a bug tracker, bug bounty hunting dashboard. Even you have dashboard, my goodness, right? So let's get the template. I have Notion, and if needed later on, we'll discuss how to create your own by your own if you wants to. This is Hugging Face papers. So this is not what we are looking for. Yeah, this is one. Yeah. Template added. Where's it? C template. Okay, it's added. So this is the one. So you can see, so this guy is using that. So once you see a report like this, just make sure that you have everything clearly added here. See, so this is like once you're doing it, we'll learn about these things later. But yeah, so similarly, you can basically store all these things. Guys, please do this. Right? Otherwise, you will not grow yourself. Make a දවස් 5-6 කරාට පස්සේ you will remember, or you will learn that there's a lot to learn, or there's a lot you have learned. That's the important part. And with this, like, it's really great if you can use journal tool as well. So I can't basically, how would I say it? I can't basically ask you to, or I can't, give me a second. I'll bring up the tool. Yeah, I can't push you to do that, but I'm really pushing you, right? So this is what I use called Roam Research, but there are free tools. This I'm paying some money, but you can use Obsidian. So here you can use bug bounty reports. I think I have bug. No, I don't have a template for bug bounty right now here, but you can, as an example, I'll show you what I meant from this. So I can say my daily notes. So yeah, so you can do things like morning check-in. Hours slept, 8, energy level, 4, mood, really bad. So මේවට ටික කරලා now weight and everything, set intention. You write these things. හිතන්න පුළුවන් මොන වදයක්ද කියලා. But once you do that for almost like a month, you come and see, and you can understand by reading this how stupid you are, how bad you are, how weak you are. So this is the logic. So ඒකෙන් තමයි ලියන්නේ කියලා. Journal entry එකක් ලියන එක මාර වැදගත්. So we'll talk later on all these things. But remember guys, you need to do this by your own, right? එතකොට මේකේ notes හැම එකක්ම ලියන්න. What is root code company එක? ඇයි ඒගොල්ලෝ bug bounty එකට ආවේ? මොනවද ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මොන වගේ bounties මේ මෙච්චර කල් ගෙවලා තියෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ? All those things. So you can go and check activities. මේ roots code lab එක කීපාරක් hack වෙලා තියෙනවද? hack වෙලා කියලා අදහස් කරන්නේ vulnerabilities කොච්චර list down ලා තියෙනවද? You can see, right? There you can see 4 here, and then of course lot more, right? Lot more. Yeah, see, going up to 7 years back. So they have paid 2,500 years, 4,000 here, likewise. So it's still a running company, right? It's a company which still runs. Maybe their website, maybe some apps, and I don't know, there can be a lot more, right? So make sure you read those things and make your own notes. Anyhow, I'm not going to go too much into this, but this is something that you're supposed to do. And then supporting material references. So see, when you write it, you can show, okay, you can hack things and then give some support materials. And then hello and thank you for the report. And then put a comment. We confirm the issue is working on the fix. We also would like to know your opinion whether they ask a question. So sometimes before you get the bounty, you might have to do a little bit of questions answers. So it gives a code as well. And then again, you post a comment and everything is fine. They give you the bounty of $5,000. That's a lot of money, right? That's how much of money? I'm not sure. Right. So yeah, so almost like $5,000 is how many Sri Lankan rupees? 5,000. Oh, that's an USD to it. Yeah. Forget about the taxes from the government, but almost like 1.5 million. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, that's enough. Right. So similarly, all the other websites in dashboard, you have to go through and read the same, right? So their setup is also quite similar. You can go and read about their companies, how much they are paying. So every day, at least read one report. Every day, log in and check who is doing what and what are the new things. They have competitions. They have so much of things. Integrity same, right? So do that. And yes, we hack same. So I'm not going to go through all those things today, but because just time is going so fast. And Snyk. The difference about Snyk is sometimes there are some platforms. There's of course so much of things to learn here, right? We go like every day a little bit onto a site like I did for HackerOne today. So you can learn bit and bit. If you want, you can go so fast. But sometimes in companies like this, you need to go through interview process. They will ask some questions and only give out the potential for you to go and hack. So there are some companies like that as well. Right. And then remember, there are other programs like Google VRP, Google and Alphabet. That Alphabet is the major company. Vulnerability reward program rules. So that's a lot. Of course, there's Google. So they are giving out, okay, these are the scope. This is intended scope. YouTube, Blogger, DeepMind. Do they still use Blogger? Okay, DeepMind.com, Waymo, Wing.com. Right, bugs in Google. So these are the major ones that they're looking for. I'm going to go through. Even now, these are the fun stuff. Like see, Chrome OS. So some people love, some people hate Chrome OS, right? Yeah. And these are the qualifying vulnerabilities. You can still find cross-site scripting, CSFR, mixed content scripts, and XLeak bugs. So it's a new one. Yep. And there are unqualifying ones as well. You have to read these things. Of course, now if you don't like to read everything at once, you can just give the link to Perplexity or ChatGPT or Claude and give a kind of a synopsis of what's happening, and they can just listen. So that's the fun part. Right. I'm not going to talk too much. So there are plenty of things that you can go and learn. Right. So let's go back to HackerOne and select probably a website for go and do the next task, just to do bit of activities. Right. We can use tools today. So yeah, we can go and select. I earlier worked with, I think there was one, was it HubSpot? So I'll probably work with HubSpot today. But you can select anything that you want, right? Yeah, no one's stopping you. So HubSpot, we'll go through HubSpot. So I should, I think, add to my program. So I can go to my programs. Where is it? Okay, anyhow, let's go back. Or maybe bookmarks. Yeah, so it's there. So we can see the details. Right. Any questions up to this point? I've been talking for almost 1 hour now. I think I don't need to summarize. I have summarized multiple times. Anyone? Right. So no questions, it seems. Maybe there were some things that we discussed last time also, but sometimes some of those things should go really detailed into your mind. So that's why, right? So HubSpot is an AI-powered customer platform. So this is where you need to learn a little bit about the company as well. පොඩ්ඩක් HubSpot site එකට ගිහලා බලන්න මොකක්ද මේගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ කියලා. Sorry, not Monday CRM. Right, HubSpot. Both are in the same business. That's why. So you have software tools for your business. So they can do a lot of things. So HubSpot is quite a famous platform. So they can do marketing too. So you can see their products. There's a lot of products. So this, as a bounty hunter, you need to know now a bit of business as well. Last time, can you remember I was discussing about mergers and acquisitions? ඉතින් අර සාමාන්‍ය දැනුම කියන එක මාර වැදගත් වෙනවා. මොනවද කරන්නේ, කවුද මේක ඉන්න කම්පැනි, මොනවද මේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක ලියලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අර ටූල්ස් පාවිච්චි කරලා බලන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. අර තියෙන්නේ ටූල්ස් තියෙනවා Chrome එකේ extensions මොනවෙන්ද මේ සම්පූර්ණ full stack එකනොත් හදන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම මේකේ මොනවද කම්පැනිස් ළඟදී එකතු වුනේ. මේගොල්ලන්ගේ වෙබ් ඇප් එකක් තියෙනවා. sorry මොබයිල් ඇප් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ ඔක්කොම බලන්න පුළුවන්. I think there's a lot you can understand. It's where it becomes easier for you to go and do your technical stuff. Right? Whether are they going to use AI, large language models, and blah blah. It seems like they are doing everything. This is a quite my goodness, it's a big place, and they do a lot of things. As you can see, there's plenty of things: marketing hub, sales hub, operational, smart CRM. So these are big things, right? If you check in the internet or YouTube, advertisements are mainly for HubSpot, Monday.com, and all this stuff, right? So it's a mixed bag of things. It's good to understand at least some of them. And just a different note, HubSpot has a lot of good resources for you to learn about businesses, right? If you really want to. Their blog and free courses and certification is quite good. This is just a completely different note. But anyone here who really wants to understand about the business world, the HubSpot Academy is pretty amazing. I've then and there I have watched their courses and some of their resources. They are quite good. They have done in quite a good quality. Right. Anyway, it's a completely different note. Okay, now we have, what you are going to attack. Right, now we come. Average time for first response 13 hours, which is good. 2 days and 16 hours. Average time triage process product done. Average time to bound 6 hours. 1 month and 5 days to resolutions, right? And the low ones, average bounty $54, not bad. 240, medium, high is 1,500, and critical ones $10,000. Our rewards are based on the severity per CVSS, Common Vulnerability Scoring Standard. This is something very important. We need to get to our terminology. Don't worry. In the future, I will cover all these things. If you go here, these things are coming every day, as you can see, right? So, but of course, if you go and get the wiki, make sure you take a bookmark on this. All these things are calculated in ways so that no one can argue. Right. Okay. Instruction to creating HubSpot trial portal. Anyone may create a trial portal by going to this website. So this is the trial one, right? And then of course you need to make sure you can't just go and you can't do your hacking using your email address. Make sure you can create this is given from this is a service given from HackerOne. So it's not given, but you can basically create a email address from this particular domain. Right, and then they give some functionality, and with a trial account, it's possible to create an API key. So I think most of you know about API keys, but if not, you can get a key to access their services. So that's basically where they do the authentication. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා මෙන්න ස්පෙෂල් රිවෝඩ් CTF challenge එකකුත් තියෙනවා. මේක අලුත් එකක්. මේ ස්පෙસિෆිකලි මේකට තියෙන එකක්. We create a portal with one contract record in the CRM. The record has two priorities. First name blah blah blah. The content flags you මේක CTF එක run කරනවා මේක ඇතුලේ. It's a kind of fun thing, right? Your task is to find permission related to vulnerabilities to bypass access control. So please understand මේ මොන මගුල ගියත් ඕන වෙබ්සයිට් එක මේ access control කියන එක තියෙනවා. ඉතින් you guys know authentication මොකද තියෙන්නේ authentication sorry authentication authorization and accounting. So those three things are the base of cyber security. අර three-headed dogs දන්නවනේ three-headed dogs එක හෙල්ල කීයද මන් දන්නේ කොහෙද ඉන්නේ කියලා මේ තුන් දෙනා yeah so මේ තුන් දෙනා දක්නපති කෙනෙක් නෑ මං හිතන්නේ ලිටරචර් හැම එකෙම මේක තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේගොල්ලෝ තමයි ආකාඩියෙන් ද underworld right මෙහෙ නෙමෙයි කොහෙද මේ දිව්‍ය ලෝකෙ නෙමෙයි right anyhow so three-headed dogs ඉතින් ඔය ටික තමයි check කරන්නේ. ඉතින් just understand මේ තුන නැත්තම් ඉතින් අනිත් ඒවා කතා කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි කතා කරන්නේ two factor ද මේක three factor ද four factor ද ඒ ටික. ඉතින් without at least having those three things you can't talk about your single security. I think you can do those bypass those any of the controls without any social engineering or user interaction. And of course, you can't use brute forcing most of the time. And read the first name flag, you can get 15,000. My goodness, that is something fun. It's interesting to ask why me HubSpot එක මේක කරන්නේ? Sorry, I got my connection lost for probably a few seconds. Can you guys hear me and see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, perfect. So I was saying about the CTF challenges. So they have created something like that. මම ගොඩාක් දුර කතා කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. අපි මේක පස්සේ මෙන්න ඉස්සරේ බලමු. ඉතින් this is also something good. Right? The target එක ඒගොල්ලෝ දීලා වෙනම අපිට trial එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා. You can try out. The standard HubSpot bug bounty program rules apply for even for this. So probably people who have no idea about CTFs, capture the flag tournaments are everywhere in the world. මේවා හැබැයි මේවට සල්ලි ගෙවනවා. ඒ වගේම මේවා නිකන් ඉගෙන ගන්න තියෙන දේවල්. ඉතින් මේක මේ real world මේ HubSpot එක ඇතුළත් මේගොල්ලෝ bug bounty එකක් දාලා CTF එකක් දාලා තියෙනවා. It's kind of interesting. Any questions please ask. Focus area authentication flows. ඉතින් එතකොට ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට authenticate කරද්දී real world එකේ when you log into a site like I know Pornhub එක කවුරු පාවිච්චි කරනවා ඒකත් Google authenticate කරන්න පුළුවන්. Apple authenticate කරන්න පුළුවන්. Microsoft authenticate කරන්න පුළුවන්. So this is like everyday stuff. And of course, when you do that, you can use single sign-on, multi-factor authentication. I think these things you all are aware, right? Don't worry if you don't know, we'll learn one by one. So multi-factors come, phone use කරන්න පුළුවන්. You can use your fingerprint, you can use your face, beautiful face and all that. Then of course, OAuth is another great protocol. Like, okay, so they're listed down high impact vulnerabilities. So මේක ඉගෙන ගන්න පොඩ්ඩ මොකද්ද මේ අක්කු මේ අහන්නේ? මේක මේ magic එකක්වත් මේක rocket science නෑ. Basic දේවල් තියෙන්නේ. Right? So the CRM records are very important. මොකද මේගොල්ලෝ important කියලා කියන්නේ මේ CRM කියන්නේ customer relationship management. මේකේ තියෙන එක data එකක් හරියක් නොත් මේගොල්ලෝ සල්ලි මිලියන ගණන් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ ඒ companies වලට. නැත්තම් මිනිස්සුන්ට නැත්තම් ඔය legal ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා. PHI කියන්නේ PII කියන්නේ personally identifiable information. So likewise. ඉතින් vulnerabilities like cross-site scripting may lead to user account takeover make a huge problem. ඉතින් මේ වගේ හරිම සරලයි මේවා කරන එක. හිතාගන්න මේවා තාම වෙනවා. අපි කරලා බලමු. next week අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් කීපයක් මේවා ඒ වගේ. ඉතින් yeah so these are the things ඊට ස්කෝප් එක බලනවා මේකදී මේක හරි වැදගත් මේගොල්ලෝ කියනවා මෙන්න මේ ඕන එකක් ස්කෝප් එකේ තියෙනවා cross site script අපි Google එකේ දැක්කේ cross site scripting කියන එක subdomain takeover අපි දැක්ක example එක subdomain takeover කරපු IDOR කියන හරියම ලේසි IDOR කියලා කියන්නේ උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ඔයා වෙබ්සයිට් මම බලන්න Google එකේ example එකක් පෙන්නනවා මේක තමයි ලේසි මේක මේ hacking වල IDOR example මේක ඕන කෙනෙකුට තප්පරයකින් ගන්න පුළුවන්. තප්පරයක්වත් යන්නේ නැහැ ඇත්තටම right. අපි ගමු නැත්නම් ඒ එක්සැම්පල් එක මෙතෙන් හරි. මේක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට වෙන එකක් මේක. IDO එකේ වෙන්නේ අපි මෙන්න මේ වගේ රික්වෙස්ට් එකක් දානවා. අපි දැන් මේ Facebook එකේ කියලා වෙලා Facebook එක ඇක්සස් කරනවා UID කියන්නේ user ID එක 12. හැබැයි අපි දන්නේ නැහැ සමහර ලාවට අපි 14 කියලා වෙන කෙනෙක් user ID එක දැම්මමත් ඒක ලෝඩ් වෙනවා. මේම ඕන තරම් වෙලා තියෙනවා ලෝකේ. හරි තාමත් වෙනවා. ඉතින් හිතන්නකෝ කොච්චර මෝඩයිද කියලා මේක. right? දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ෆොටෝ ID කියලා තියෙනවා. මට නවන මගේ නොවන ෆොටෝ ID එකක් මම ගහනවා මෙතන. ඒ තමයි මේ ෆොටෝ එකත් ලෝඩ් වෙනවා Facebook එකේ. එහෙම වෙලා තියෙනවා ලෝකේ ඕන තරම්. ඉතින් මේ IDOS වල තාමත් රන් වෙනවා. ඉතින් හිතා ගන්න කොච්චර වෙබ් security කියන්නේ ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඉතින් you understand right? So I don't want to talk too much about it. ඒක තේරුණා කියලා මම හිතනවා හැමෝටම. Yeah, there are more complex examples, but first understand a simpler example, right? Yeah. So then, of course, then they have to remember what are out of scope. So these are the things that they don't worry too much. Denial of service, DOS attacks, because most of the players these days, there are good, browser firewalls or web firewalls, deep packet firewalls. ඉතින් මේකට detect කරන්න lazy. බෘට් ෆෝසස් වගේ ඒවා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලන් හොඳ කන්ට්‍රෝල්ස් ඇති මේ වෙද්දි. ඉතින් ඔයගේ ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ අපි. ඇයි මුන් මේක දෙන්නේ නැත්තේ? එහෙම හිතන්න පුළුවන්. ක්‍රියේටිව් විදිහට හිතන්න. Perceived excessive volumes of sent emails, mail flooding වලට දෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අපි පස්සේ කියමු ඔක්කොම ටික. මේක වැදගත් දේ තමයි this one. This we will understand. හරි. ඔන්න in scope. මේක දැන් ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරගන්න පුළුවන් මේ ෆයිල් එක. CSV එක ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. This is important because අපි මේක ඔටෝමේට් කරන්න ගියාම මේක හරි වැදගත් වෙනවා. අපි මේක සේව් කරගමු session 2 එකට. මම කලින් මම ගත්තා මේක anyhow. Let's yeah we have it replace right. So but හිතන්න මෙතන ඒගොල්ලෝ check කරන URLs API මේ star එකෙන් කියන්නේ API කියන එක ඇතුළට දෙන්න පුළුවන් API lakmal hubspot.com API x hubspot.com ඒක ඔක්කොම in scope. app කියන එක ඇතුළුව app ශ්‍රී ලංකා hubspot.com ඔය හැම වෙබ්සයිට් එකේම හැම URL එකේම හැම සබ් ඩොමේන් එකේම errors ඒගොල්ලෝ in scope critical කියලා ගන්නෙ. හරි eligible bounties වලට eligible. මේ last update එක කියලා තියෙන ජූන් 12. ඉතින් අපිට ඒක පිළිගන්න වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ HubSpot mobile app එක. අපි ඉස්සරහට බලමු mobile app iOS app hack කරන්නේ කොහොමද? Android app hack කරන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒ වගේම they have a මොකක්ද කියන්නේ Office 365 add-on එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? If you go to Word document Outlook එකේ Word එකට ගියාම sorry. Let's go to Word. Right. දැන් මේක add-ons තියෙනවා right. So a lot of add-ons තියෙනවා. ඉතින් HubSpot එකත් අපිට ඕන දාගන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩක් කට්ටිය add-ons දාගන්නේ නැහැ for different reasons. I think you guys have seen this. I don't want to really show you example. So there are add-ons. So even that add-on, right? There can be vulnerabilities because it's also uses APIs, web calls, HTTP calls. Some use කරන්නේ. Customer connected domains, other domains වලටත් මේක connect කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම chatspot.ai එකත් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ එකක් කියන්නේ. අපි දන්නෙත් නැහැ සමහර ලාවට chatspot.ai. It seems it's a part of HubSpot. Yeah, so it's yeah under them right anyway. And then HubSpot mail.net, HubSpot, yeah. So there's a lot, right? All good. So and of course there are things that are out of scope as well. The spot hubspot.com, trust hubspot.com, events hubspot.com. මේවා ඉතින් එච්චර වැදගත් URL නෙමෙයි නිකන් information දාන blog එකක් වගේ hack කරත් කමක් නැහැ ඒගොල්ලන්ට. Who cares? What the hell කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා. shop hubspot.com මොකක් හරි reason එකකට ඒගොල්ලෝ එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right. Right. Okay. I hope that is very clear to all of you guys. ඉතින් එතනින් එහාට අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතන අපි දැන් බැලුවා activities කියන්නේ මේවා කියවන්න මුලින්ම hack කරන්න බැරිව knowledge එක ගත්තොත් මම කියවන්න. දවසට එකක් කියවන්න. එකම දේ discipline තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Guys, like you have to have the discipline. Do this for 1 month, you will see you will learn a lot. And you will then the next thing is confidence එකත් එනවා අර දෝරේ ගලාගෙන එනවා වගේ හොරෙන් එනවා වගේ පිටිපස්සෙන් එනවා වගේ confidence එකත් එල්ලිලා එනවා නැට්ට වගේ. ඒක ටික I can do this. එතකොට මේ number එක ඇයි මචං මට මේක කරන්න බැරි. නිකන් මේකට එනවා පොඩි fun එකක්. ඊට පස්සේ පොඩි එනවා ඇඟට පොඩි kick එකක් එනවා. මචං $10,000 ගමු. girlfriend මොනවද අරන් දෙන්න පුළුවන් something like that. ඕන තම්බට මොනවද අරන් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. something like that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Hope it is clear. Any questions up to this point? Now we'll try to do this. Of course, then yeah, any questions? It's 11:10, so we have another 50 minutes to go. No questions, all good. I hope you guys can hear me, right? Kavinda, Prasanna, can you hear me?
I have a question. Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead. Thanks. First, questions, please. Reaction, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, regarding the said bug bounty, they have mentioned that the domain app that we have to test is app something. Where was it?
Yeah, this one. Yes. This one, right?
No. On the program feature, program
Okay.
guideline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go
but
there.
under scope they have given us some other domains also.
Yeah. These are two different things. Normally, when you go to a normal program, you don't see things like CTF challenges, right? So this is a little bit different. Okay. So this is a separate one. Forget about that for a moment. Maybe what you're saying is this one, right? Is that this is what you're saying?
Yes.
This is just to get the trial account. That's all. This is where you can get the trial account, because some of those things when you're testing this, right? Say some API HubSpot, you might have to go and give a account detail. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you need to
Okay.
create an account. There are things that you can test without account, but most of it you need to have some sort of account, right? So once you go to developershubspot.com, you can create a developer account, but you should never use your like real world things, right? So they'll assume that you are a hacker, true hacker. You understand? But anytime that you are testing it from that account that you are creating from HackerOne, from the HackerOne email, you don't get any problem. Am I clear? But don't worry, we are going to do
So
that, right? We stepwise will do
just to
this.
whatever the email address I used to create the HackerOne account can be used for this bug bounty.
Yeah, so we will do it and see next time, right?
Okay.
So what you're supposed to do is the email domain should be hackerone.com, this one. So this we can get from HackerOne. I'll tell you how to get it. Don't worry. Right. So this is a common thing that all bug bounty platformers do, unless otherwise they say, okay, you can do whatever you want. If this is given clearly, now let's go to a different one. We go and look at another company. Almost all of them, most of them tell you, okay, when you're testing, make sure that you go and do it from HackerOne email address or account. So let's go to Tinder. I think you guys know about Tinder. Yeah, so you can see it's a little bit different than the other one. They say, okay, they're wanting to test basically some API endpoints. See, if you don't understand what is API, don't worry too much. Like we'll learn it, right? And of course, example in scope finding, unauthorized access to sensitive user information, blah blah blah. So they specifically don't mention that you need the email address, but they give all the other details very clearly, right? So there's a lot that you can do on Tinder. And go to scope as well in case if there's anything missing. So you have to make sure that you read these things very carefully, right? But the cool thing is, I told you earlier, I can do all these things within, like I just gave the details to, Cursor, and Cursor has created everything for me. I'll come to this later, right? So this is how you say AI, right? Yeah, so this is out of scope ones, right? Anyway, any other questions? Thanks, Krishan, for asking the question. Anyone else? Right. So now let's try to do the basics from a tools. Now tool usage, right? So we have to know how to do things, right? Okay. So when you want to do bug bounty, you need to use tools like software. You need to use frameworks, workflows. There's a lot you can do, right? Of course, don't forget that you use Notion templates, journals, and stuff like that. හරි. මුලින්ම අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන් tool එකක් තමයි ගොඩාක් bug bounty use කරන tool එක තමයි Burp Suite කියලා කියන්නේ. Burp Suite is one of the best tools you should use, right? This is something that you all have to use. Burp Suite, we have a community edition which is free. This is also great. I think I can show it to you. I have installed this. And of course, there's a one called Burp Suite Professional Edition. It's a bit expensive. You don't have to buy it now. Don't worry at all. Some people use the hacked versions. So I'm not going to give out some live session, give you a recommendation to go and hack things. Yeah, it's $475. But once you start earning the money, you'll feel how important this is, right? And now, of course, they have their AI stuff also. But don't worry, I will teach you. Come to my LLM sessions and other things. මේවා අපිට හදන්න පුළුවන් දැන් ඉස්සර වගේ නේ අපිට නම් verb suite එක හදාගන්න පුළුවන් මේ Java එකකට හොයනවට වඩා, right? I'll not talk too much about it. We are living in a pretty amazing time. If you don't like to buy this one, guys, you can create tools using Cursor. Yeah, we'll learn it. Don't worry. Learn, use, and everything. So you can use this, and then of course, the other cool thing is you can use this amazing operating system called Kali. So you can install this in different ways. Again, if you don't know the basics, I will teach you how to install and onwards. Uh, Nothing to worry too much. Let me close this for a moment. Right. So basically, this is operating system. It's a Linux kernel, right? It's called Kali. I think most of you know about it. And it comes with all the tools installed, pre-installed, right? These are the normal things that you do, information gathering. You have almost all the tools, SynMap, Nmap, ReconNG, pretty amazing tool. And vulnerability analysis, of course, the biggest is Nmap, and then there are a few others, right? And of course, you have something called for fuzzing and web application, obviously, right? That's WP Scan, WordPress, and then databases, SQL Map, password attack, there's plenty. Hydra, my goodness, John the Ripper. Like 20 years back, even you had this Encrack and wireless attacks. Again, ARCrack NG, reverse engineering. I love Radar 2, and this is advanced stuff, but we'll discuss them when the time comes. Exploitation tools, of course, Metasploit is so huge. There's a lot to learn about Metasploit and sniffing. You can use, again, there's plenty here, a lot of Python tools. Wireshark is another crazy tool. Post exploitation, yeah, so that's plenty. Forensics, reporting, social engineering, and you can install anything else, or you can even create your tools. So Kali is amazing. So when you install Kali, maybe using a Windows computer, I use a Mac. You can install it as a virtual box. That's one way of doing that. Or you can have it as, dual boot. Or you can have a different computer if you have enough money. But I'm assuming that you don't have even money to buy a computer. I think I am giving you all the options. The next option is you need to go and get a DigitalOcean droplet. DigitalOcean එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඔයාලට online Kali box එකක් හදා ගන්න පුළුවන් free යම්කිසි ප්‍රමාණයකට. Probably I'm not saying the best option, but we are going to learn about how to create that as well. This is called droplets. You can create a virtual machine in seconds, right? ඉතින් AWS උත කරන්න පුළුවන්, free එකවත් ගන්න පුළුවන් options තියෙනවා, right? So we'll learn how to do DigitalOcean next. And then of course then comes Docker, amazing tool. Docker is easier because you can get your Kali installed in Docker, because the thing is it can be quite, how would I say it? It can be quite optimum for your computer. My computer ගොඩාක් memory නැත්තම් you can get an official Kali Docker image. There are plenty of images here. The cool thing is this doesn't take a lot of memory. You can ask the question, so does that mean I have all those tools here? No, you don't have. You don't have all the tools, but as an example, this is only like 49 MB, right? දැම්මට install කරන්න පුළුවන්. Thing is, when you become a serious developer, serious bug bounty hunter, smart contract hacker, malware reverse engineer, forensic auditor, private investigator, whatever කරන්න පුළුවන් මේක ඇතුලේ, right? You use only the tools that you need, and you might have several Docker images. Someone make computer තියාගන්නෙත් නැහැ for different reasons. So then you don't have to worry too much. Docker is an amazing tool. I'll explain why more and more every day. I think you can understand, right? So there are so many ways that you can install Kali, and there are other software also, like operating system Parrot කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. So there's one called Parrot, and there are so many other Linux kernels. My goodness, there are thousands of them. So Parrot Security is another one, and you can, if you want, you can create your own OS. එකත් අපි ඉගෙන ගමු, right? At one point, not very recently, sorry, not in the next few sessions, but of course, for a few months down in the line, we can create your own. You can do a kernel recompilation. That's what we called. ඉතින් කවුරු හරි කියනවා මෙතන දෙයියම මම ජීවිතේ වචන අහලා නැහැ නේ. ඉතින් ඒකෙන්ද අපි මෙන්න මේක මම කරනවා. මිසිං සෙමිස්ටර් කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. මේකට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න. මේක නම් ඔයාලට ඔන්ලයින් කියලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. So මේකේ තියෙන content එක මාර වැදගත්. මේ ගොඩක් කට්ටියට මේ දේවල් කරන්න බැරි, assembly reverse engineering කරන්න බැරි මෙන්න මේවා දන්නේ නැති හින්දා. shell tools දන්නේ නැහැ, right? vim edit එක දන්නේ නැහැ. හරි මේ කෝඩ් එක මන් දීලා මොකද්ද මේක කරන්න කියලා දානවා උඩට බලන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මහලුකු දේවල් නෙමෙයි, හරි simple. අපි ඊට පස්සේ ගියොත් එහෙම version controlling, දැන් debugging and profiling කියන එක ජීවිතේට දැකලා නැහැ, right? ඉතින් මේ lectures ඕනකට බලන්න පුළුවන්. මම කරන එකක් ඉන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එකපාරට හරි advanced නේද කියලා නෑ, එහෙම එකක් නැහැ, right? මේක අපි උදාහරණයක් විදියට අපි බලමු. We'll bring it here. We can get a new shell, new tab. Yeah. අපි H-top එකක් දුන්නොත්. So probably you have never seen this in if you're using a Windows computer. පොඩි වෙලාවක් යනවා. Yeah. So how many of you have every day using some tool like H-top? Probably not, right? But there are so many things that you can do with this. මේකට agent කෙනෙක් ක්‍රියා කළා AI වලින් ඔකට ලියන්නත් පුළුවන් fan එක cool කරන්න සමහරවිට liquid cooling වගේ gaming කරපු කට්ටිය දන්නේ නැති ඒවා ගැන. You can do this, but you need knowledge of this to some extent. ඉතින් මේ ටික අපිට ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතකොට kernel recompilation කියන්නේ ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. Anyway, the summary of things what I said right now is nothing big. මං කිය පොඩි දෙයක් ටිකක් මං කිව්වේ. One is you guys can create your environment. ඔයාගේම toolbox එක හදා ගන්න ඕනේ. You know, like sometimes there are some vehicle engineers like technicians like toolbox එක ලස්සනට අරන් එනවා ඕන වාහන කැලක් ගලවන්න පුළුවන් ටක් ගාලා. It looks really good, right? Similarly, as a bug bounty hunter, you have to build up your toolbox. ඉතින් ඒක Kali Linux box එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් වගේ Windows computer එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි make sure one thing please. When you're doing cybersecurity stuff, if you have your Chrome browser, Chrome browser එකේ ඔයාගේ bank account එකට log වෙන Chrome profile එක මේක. Please don't do that, please. You can create so many different things these days to secure yourself. Don't even use the browser. Use a different browser, right? Or maybe using a different login if you can't have another computer. Or you can use a virtual box. Take your measures, please. Bug bounty කරන්න කියලා ඔයාව hack වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒක මට වෙලා තියෙනවා තරම්, right? So එහෙම කියලා බය වෙන්න නෙමෙයි, but use those methods, measurements. Enough. Any questions? So I told you a few things. There are, if you search Google how to, I will teach, but if you really want to go fast, how to create a bug bounty workflow, including, sorry about the Kali box. There are nice written articles, videos, stuff like that, right? So you can go there and basically set up your computer if you want to do it fast. Because my session is a little bit sober because I'm talking about so many different things for touching to different types of people. So if you want to go fast, you can do that. If you're already doing bug bounty, you know your environment, please share with others. Right. So today I'm going to work with, initially, of course, we can now, what you should do. The first step එක තමයි මේ bug bounty එකේදී අපි මේක recon කරන්න ඕනේ. Recon කියලා කියන්නේ reconnaissance. Recon කියලා කියන්නේ reconnaissance. ඉතින් ඒකට tool එකක්ම තියෙනවා recon ng කියලා. This is the best tool. ඉතින් මේක ඇතුළට ගියාට පස්සේ මේ එක tool එකකින් අපිට සියලුම දේවල් already කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒක කරන්නේ මොනවද කියලා අපිට දැනගන්න ඕනේ. First thing is you have to understand what these guys are doing in HubSpot. And what these different URLs, because if I want to hack it, somehow you have to go to these URLs, right? ඉතින් මේ URL මොනවද කියලා අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් recon ng කියන tool එක නැත්නම් අපිට sub list එක tool එකක් තියෙනවා sub3 lister. Sorry, not B, sub lister. මේ වගේ tools පාවිච්චි කරලා there are so many things that you can do. Right, so I will not directly go into, I would say, the Kali box and try doing all these things directly. So this is subdomain takeover and all this stuff, but we'll do it on a graphical tool first, which can be useful. So the common tool that we always use is Burpsuit, this guy, right? So I'm using a community edition. So basically I need to load this up and do that. But today I'm not going to work initially with Burp. This is a fascinating tool. There's no questions asked. This is a wonderful tool, but I'm going to work with Kaido, right? So you guys can install both. But if you, I think people who have done cybersecurity know about this, but if you've never used it, just right now you can go and install Kaido. It's an amazing tool. And one thing a lot of people do love about this tool, where Burpsuit is, you can see when you see the interface, right? For some reason, I don't really love Java, especially for their Java Swing and everything. I know there are people who crazily love for these interfaces, but, and also the other thing is this is quite slow. Why Kaido is good? Because I love Rust, or I love languages like Rust. Because I love C language. Rust is also like C, but better than C in a way. right? So this is some reason even the interfaces are pretty amazing, right? So anyhow, the cool thing is it's so fast. So let me create or let me first show you how to download this. You can just download depending on whether you're on Mac, Windows, or Linux. And they have pretty amazing stuff, right? What is the main difference between Kaido and Burp Suite? Which one is easy? Yeah, I hope you heard it right, no one. So both are easy to use. There's no problem in that. But Kaido is so fast, and Burp Suite is written from Java, whereas Kaido is written from Rust. So it's really fast, highly optimized, yeah, and onwards. And once you use it, we'll use both. Don't worry, you'll see the differences, how things works out, right? The interfaces and everything. And they have a lot of resources, plugins, and roadmaps, documentation. My goodness, there's plenty to work with. So let's start. And the other thing is the free version. This is something good about the free version of Kaido. The model is a little bit different. If you look at the pricing model, Burp Suite, the professional one is like $450. But here you can use the basic model with almost all the features, other than few things. You don't have the AI assistant and other things or nightly bills, but it's okay. It's more than enough, right? We can do, you can see 2 projects, 5 workflows, 3 plugins. You will see what are these things. So we can run at least 2 projects. That's good. That's good enough, right? So let's start with the project. I have created one earlier, but let's start with a new project. File. I think I can create a project somewhere here. Yeah, create a project. Again, I would say HubSpot new. HubSpot, because I've done this earlier, but I'll say HubSpot new. What I'm writing. Right, I'll create one. So I can fix between my old one and the new one very easily. And once you basically load the new project, there's nothing that you can see, right? Nothing that you can see. You can see all the left-hand side. You have something called sitemap, scope, filters, intercept, blah, and blah, and blah, right? So we'll learn these things quickly. Don't worry. So when you want to do this, another thing that you need is a browser, right? So I have Firefox. I don't use Chrome because I use it for every other thing. So I have Firefox here, as you guys can see, right? So I have Firefox here and I have Kaido here. So I need to do stuff here in Firefox. That's what I'm doing here. But before I work Firefox and Kaido, there's one thing that I need to do. Again, a common thing that we do in cybersecurity. I need to connect Firefox to Kaido. So what happens is Kaido stays in between Firefox and the internet. මෙයා මේක නිකන් middleman කෙනෙක් වගේ. නැත්නම් proxy කියලා කියන technical term එක. So all when I say Google, this should go to first Kaido, right? මේක Kaido එකට යන්න ඕනේ. Kaido එකෙන් අපි අවසර දුන්නොත් ඉස්සරහට යන්නේ. මෙතන මම දැන් forward කියලා තියෙන එකෙන් මොකුත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි මම ගියොත් එහෙම නේ already මේ බාන sites කීපෙට ගිහිල්ලක් තියෙනවා මෙයා. ඉතින් මම මේ ඔක්කොම delete කරන්නම්. දැන් මට වැඩක් නැහැ. මොකුත් නැහැ මේකේ filters උත් නැහැ. Yeah. filters දෙකක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. That's okay. But my site map දැන්ට මොකුත් නැහැ. මම දැන් Google එකට නැත්නම් මම යන්නම් අපි හිතමු කොහෙටද? අපි යමු SL Army. Yeah, we'll go to Sri Lankan Army website. දැන් බලන්න ආමි එකට ගිහලා තියෙනවා මේ. දැන් මේක වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? ඔයා දැන් මේක first time load ලා මේක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. right? සමහර නම YouTube වල Gstatic මේවා ඉතින් මේ වෙබ්සයිට් කොහොමත් මේකට යද්දි හැම එකටම යනවා මේ අස්සෙන් මේ හැම මේ කැලලම load වෙද්දි මේවට automatically යනවා. right? ඉතින් ඒක ගැන worry වෙන්න එපා. right? ඉතින් මේක හදාගන්නේ කොහොමද? First thing is you need to go to settings. There are 2 things that you need to do. Settings වලට ගිහිලා you need to go to certificates. The thing is, when a browser goes to a website these days, if directly go to a website, you have to make sure it's properly certified, like for basically authentication and authorization and all this stuff. So if you go and check very different certificates, there are plenty of certificates. Basically, this happens to middleman. So we talk detail about this later. You can see things from D-Trust, Cyber Trust. මේගොල්ලෝ තමයි middleman ලා. අපේ ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකේ යද්දී හම්බෙන middleman ලා. සමහර කට්ටිය අපේ dialog වගේ අපි ඊළඟට jump කරන node එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපේ ඉන්ටර්නෙට් provider වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒක ඒ මැදට එකපාරට මේ අපේ normal official කට්ටිය මැදට Microsoft එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මැදට මේ burp suit එක පයින්නවා. ඉතින් මේක හරියන්නේ නැහැ නේ. So it's something wrong that we are doing. Right? It shouldn't happen. So because of that, if you carefully go to burp suit, sorry, Kaido, burp suit name Kaido. So if you go to download, they will give you a certificate to install. Because don't worry too much, right? They will give you a certificate. So you can go and search it. Search Kaido digital certificate. මේක අරගෙන අපි install කරගන්න ඕනේ. I think it's not a big deal. CA management. So basically you need to download this, right? So they will give you a CA certificate when you're doing that, and then you need to download it, whatever the platform that you have, right? So when you go through the downloading process, they will give you that particular certificate. So once you have the certificate, you need to go and basically install it. I have already downloaded it. So I have to go here, view certificate, I have to import it. I have already imported it, so I don't need to do it. But if you want, I have this, you can see here, I have the CACRT file. So I have already uploaded it. So once I do that, basically, I don't get any errors here and there. The other thing, second step, you can watch the video if you want, right? The next one is proxy, right? You can go and set the proxy. Normally, most of those tools runs in localhost. It's 127.0.0.1. And the port is 8080, making it's like a standard. Even burp suit does the same, right? And then if you want, we can reconfigure to different port, but normally that's how it works. And you can say use the HTTPS. Done. So now it's almost done. Now we can see if you go to sitemaps, right? Or you can intercept any data, basically sitemap, you can see the websites, which the browser is going. So we are not worried about this, right? We are not worried about Army or Google or nothing. So what we need to do is we have to go to HubSpot now. Now let's go and see whether we can go to HubSpot. Because we are going to hack and get a bounty for HubSpot, $5,000, $10,000, $50,000. Right. Now we go and see whether it captures HubSpot. Of course, you can see there's plenty, right? You can see HubSpot.com, and there's a star in between. Sorry, not in between, before. That's because anything with HubSpot, lakmal.hubspot, I don't know, abc.hubspot.com, anything. And HubSpot feedback and HubSpot content, lot of things, LinkedIn, lot of things. Then me ඔක්කොමත් එක්ක අපිට වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? But again, බෑ. So this is the other thing. There's no point, right? So this is where we need to go and do some filters, or you can add a scope. Now මොනවද scope එකට එන්නේ? It's so simple now, right? So if you go to our program, we can add all these things as our scope. We can say BB HubSpot. BB HubSpot API HubSpot.com. We can make a copy කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට ඕන නම්. මේක තමයි in scope. දැන්ට මේ විදිහට copy කරමු ටක් ගාලා. But if you can, if you want, you can automate as well. Chatspot. ඒ වගේම අපිට out of scope එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? It does අපිට මේක නමක් දෙන්න පුළුවන් BB HubSpot. We can create, save and everything. But before that, let's go and check any other. Yeah, there's some in-sport stuff. You can download the Excel if you want, and you can do it faster, quicker. But here, remember, because we are learning process, මම මේකෙදී මේ සම්පූර්ණ ස්ටාර් එකකුත් මෙතෙන්ට දාන්න එක වැරදිම කරන එක මෙහෙම දැම්මම ඕන එකක් එන්න පුළුවන්, but ඒකත් මම දැනට දානවා, right? Just for learning purposes. But ඒක නෑ මේකේ. දැන් උදාහරණයකට abc.hubspot.com 아무ත් වැරදි. ඒක they don't really need it, right? But any other thing, API එක මොකක් හරි නමක් આવොත්, yes, they need it, of course. Customer portal එක, I think, so මේකත් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් ඕන නම් මේ දීලා තියෙන ඉඳ ගන්න පුළුවන්, right? Wild card එකක් විතර asset name එක මේක තමයි ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. අපි එකක් දාමු. right. And of course මේකෙත් මේ wild card එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා. මේක සමහරට ගන්න නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්, but let's see. Yeah, that's enough, right? Yeah, these are the things out of scope, right? Now we have, so we can create this. Okay, මෙතන පොඩි එකක් එනවා. පදේක. Yeah, මේක අපිට දාන්න බෑ කියලා කියනවා. දැන් අපි කයින් කරමු. It's okay, create. Again, this one also. Make it a bit style එකක් දාමු. මම හිතන්නේ we can't put the question mark. So let's do it like this. Yeah, still. That's the other problem. I think this one you can't put. For the moment, we'll just remove because we are doing something. Yeah, now we can see the scope is BB hotspot. So now we have a properly defined scope. If you want, you can do filtering also. Then. So we have a sitemap, we have scope. Now we are going to intercept. When we are going to intercept now, then මේ වගේ sitemap එකක් ආවම මල වදයක් මේකනේ. There are so much of things here. We are not going to do any bounty from this. මේකත් බලන්න ඕනේ. මේක ඇතුළේ ගියාම තව ගොඩක් ඒවා තියෙනවා මේ. කොච්චර පැකට්ස් ඇවිල්ලාද මේ පැකට් එකේ මේ රික්වෙස්ට් එක මේ රෙස්පොන්ස් එක මේ ඔක්කොම බලන්න තරම් අපිට පිස්සුවක් නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ ආසේ තියෙනවා Gstatic කියලා වෙබ්සයිට් එකක්. ඒකේ encrypted තියෙනවා traffic තියෙනවා මේ HS forms කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. We don't need it, right? So then අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? We are intercepting only BB HubSpot, right? BB HubSpot විතර අපි දැන් ෆිල්ටර් කරන්නේ. ඒතර අපි දැන් අපි රික්වෙස්ට් එකක් දාමු අපේ browser එකෙන් hubspot.com එකට. අපි කීපයක් දාමු. මොනවාම හරි ක්ලික් කරමු. Reddit එක ක්ලික් කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ. HubSpot එක ක්ලික් කරලා බලමු data එනවාද කියලා මෙතෙන්ට. තාම ආවේ නැද්ද? Right, it's okay. Okay, that's now another thing. Any data in that. Now it seems like we have added it proper. Can anyone tell me why still, even though I'm going to HubSpot.com, there's no information coming here? Why? That's the other thing. Another
forwarding.
Yeah,
Traffic
exactly. Traffic is just forwarding. Make a forward වෙනවා අපිට පේන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකින්ද අපි මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? We have to queue it. Queue කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ එන traffic එක මෙහා තියාගෙන. ඔන්න තියෙනවා ඒ තියෙන්නේ. නවත්තගෙන තියා ගන්නවා. යා යවන්නේ නැහැ. අපි traffic එක මේක ඊට පස්සේ we will go to some different sites. HubSpot එක ඇතුළේම sales hub එකේ link එකක් තියෙනවා නා අපි මුලින්ම hubspot.com එකට යමු. This is like a sub URL, not a subdomain, a specific URL. මේ chatbot එක වැඩ කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒකෙත් අපිට ඕනනම් message දාලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. I think I should put this guy here. It's easier for me. Okay, so I think I need to have a new desktop. I'll put it here. Yeah, so then I get a lot of stuff here. You can see I get a lot of URLs. So yeah, hubspot.com. Did I manage to get? Yeah. Now මේවට යන්නේ නැහැ නේ. මොකද යන්නේ නැත්තේ හේතුව කරලා දන්නවා. දැන් මෙතන එකක්වත් load වෙන්නේ නැහැ, right? මොකද ඔක්කොම queue එකේ තියෙන්නේ. මගේ නැවතිලා. So what I can do now is I can go to app.hubspot.com. I can forward some of them. Right? So forward some of them. So forward some of them, or I can select, I think select and forward everything if needed. Yes, forward, right? So I can do all those fun stuff, right? I hope you got it up to this point, right? Any questions? Any questions? All right. So this is what we do normally as web engineers. There's a lot of things you can check. Of course, there are things that you'll later on learn how to inspect these things using the browser tools. Something called inspector here also. There's a console and you can communicate with it, right? So there's a function and you can write things here, or use a debugger, right? So then there's a network tab. Don't worry, we learn these things and there's a lot more stuff, right? And then there are the third-party tools, but this is like the best tool, right? Now let's check. Now we have intercepted, and you can of course check HTTP history. But these are all stuff, right? Again, you can set the scope, correct, BB HubSpot, and now we can see all HTTP history. Even we can check on click on one, and you can check the get response, the get request. මේක තමයි request එක අපි යවන්නේ. අපිට ඕන නම් මේක යවලා බලන්න පුළුවන් එහා පැත්තට. දැන් මේක response එකක් ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. ඒ වගේම response එකක් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා බලන්න පුළුවන්. මේ මොකද අපි ගොඩක්ම නවත්ත ගත්ත හින්දා එනවා. So this one you have a response. See? It goes to a website, request a website, and you get a response. I mean, 200 kilowatt, it's like it's an okay one. And you can even check the preview. අපි දන්නේ මේක එයිද කියලා මේක මුකුත් පේන්නන්නේ නැහැ මේක වෙබ්සයිට් එකේ කැලලක් මේක අපිට ප්‍රිවිව් එක බලන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? Sometimes when you want to preview and all that, you need to install plugins. We'll talk about it later. Right. Now we'll do something interesting. Now this is like the basics. The මේටික මහලුකු දේවල් නෙමෙයි. Like, but the bug bounty hunter just don't finish or just stop at intercepting. Right? It uses few different tools and ඒවා ටික තමයි අපිට වැදගත්. So these are the tools that we use for testing. One is called replay, the other one is called automate, the other one is called workflows. Assistant is like a chat engine, and environment. So mainly these three things: replay, automate, and workflows. Replay and automate is the most common, but workflows are getting popular day by day, right? And this is so huge with Kaido. In Burpsuit also you have, like as an example, you have something called intruder. Intruder is like almost like intruder is almost like automate. And if you go back to repeater, repeater is almost like replay, right? And don't worry, we'll understand the rest of it. And the cool thing is in Kaido, you have even something called workflow, which is amazing. We'll learn about it. Now we'll try to see how to test things. It's we have only 15 minutes, right? It's okay. But this is like just to give you a kind of a knack into these tools. But next time we'll do a lot more. Dahama said, so what's the problem with the name you told earlier? That provides some good content. Okay, missing semester. Sorry about it. I've been talking about so many things. Sorry. It's the missing semester. Please watch it, but I'll go through one by one all the content. It says missing semester is why missing semester කියලා කියන්නේ ගොඩක් කැම්පස් වල මම දැන් පිටරට යුනිවර්සිටිස් කීපයකට එකත් වැඩ කරලා තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ විතරක් නෙමෙයි ලංකාවේ හැම යුනිවර්සිටියම වගේ මේ උගන්වන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ළමයෙකුට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. මම දැන් රිවර්ස් එන්ජිනියර් කරන පොඩි එක්සැම්පල් එකක් පෙන්නන්නම්. Right, so we are going to do reverse engineer using there are plenty of tools. Reverse engineer code ටිකක් බලමු නිකන් අපි. ඉතින් right, source code එකක් නැත්නම් අපි මේකේ තියෙන Jhadra කියලා tool එකක් තියෙනවා නැත්නම් Jhidra කියලා කියන එකේ tool නම් කියනවා මේකට කට්ටිය pronounce කරනවා. දැන් මේවා කරන්න ගියාට පස්සේ කට්ටිය උඩබිම් බලනවා ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. කැමති නෑ මේවත් එක වැඩ කරන්න. Right, මේ තියෙන එක. We'll get a tutorial, quick tutorial. Sorry about jumping, but this is important. Right? Question is also important. මේ වගේ එකක් දැක්ක ගමන් කට්ටිය බය වෙනවා. එහෙනම් බය වෙන්න ඕනේ නෑ. මේකේ තියෙන simple logic එකක්. ඒ වගේ මට කලින් පෙන්නපු එක theory of everything අයින්ස්ටයින් උත් කිව්වේ simple දෙයක් අවසානයේ කියලා තියෙන්නේ. අර සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියලාත් තියෙනවා කෙනෙකුට දෙයක් simply කියන්න බෑ නම් එයාගේ දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. Right? So يعني අයින්ස්ටයින්ටත් එක කියලා දෙන්න බෑ නම් අයින්ස්ටයින් උත් දන්නේ නැහැ ඒක. සරල කතාව ඒකයි. ඒක තේරුම් ගන්න. ඉතින් මේක ඇති දෙයක් නෑ බලන් ගියාම. ඉතින් මේක අපි කෝඩ් එක පුළුවන් වෙනවා assembly වලට convert කරන්න. මේක තවත් ලේසියි. මොකද මේ step එකේ තියෙන්නේ හරි පොඩි steps තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ මෙවන හරි අමාරු කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. මේ ගොඩක් මේක එක if condition එකේ සෑහෙන දේවල් ගොඩක් කරනවා. ඉතින් මේක තේරෙන්නේ නැත්te ළමයින්ට basics දන්නේ නැති හින්දා. අන්න ඒ basics දන්නේ නැති හින්දා තමයි you have to go through the missing semesters. ඉතින් මේ course එක මම හිතන්නේ මේක කරේ lecturers set එකක් Stanford හරි නැත්නම් මෙතන කානගී මෙලන් යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ මට හරියට මතක නෑ මේ සෙට් එක කොහෙද හිටියේ කියලා. පොඩි වෙලාවක් ගත්තට සමා වෙන්න ඕනේ මොකද this is so important stuff. ලෝකෙ තියෙනවා කානගී මෙලන් කියලා යුනිවර්සිටි එකක්, the best software engineering university in the world, Stanford වගේම තමයි. ඉතින් මේ lectures set එක perfect. Let me quickly check. Yeah, anyway, you guys can have a look at it. But yeah, it's MIT. So this is actually the first MOOC, Open Learning MIT. Coursera හැමෝම දන්නවා ඇති. but ලෝකෙ මුලින්ම මම 2000 ගණන් වල මට මතකයි මේ MIT එකේ courses මම PDF download කරනවා ඉන්ටර්නෙට් උත් නැහැ දවස්වල. මේ MIT එකේ Open Learning තිබ්බා. MIT තමයි පටන් ගත්තේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකක් විදියට. ඒ කියන්නේ officially මම දන්න විදියට. ඒක කාලේ කිව්වේ open courseware හරි මොකක් හරි. Open Learning කියන වෙබ්සයිට් එකට ගියාම ඔක්කොම ආකයිව් කරලා තියෙනවා. මෙතන Open Learning තමයි. ඉතින් අර learning with open source හරි open කරපු කාලේ තමයි ඕක. Anyway, I have gone a little bit more into things. Let me close these things down. So understand, learn the missing semester. So but I'm teaching it in different classes. You can learn by that house as well. Right. Anyway, now what I'm going to do is replay. So what I'm going to do now is any of those said මේ ඔක්කොම freeze වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ queue වෙලානේ තියෙන්නේ. මම එක්ක මම මේක click කරලා මේක මම drop කරනවා පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් මට forward කරන්න පුළුවන්. I think I have to decide this very carefully, right? Which one I'm going to use for replay? ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේක යනවා නම් login එකට අන්න ඒ වගේ වෙලාවට හරි වැදගත් මේක. මොනවාරි parameters මට try කරන්න පුළුවන් change කරලා. ඉතින් don't worry. And this one seems to be a little bit better. So I will use this one. What I'm going to do is right click and send to replay. So I'll go here and make it I can do a lot of things. I can do collection එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට SQL injection වලට. Don't worry, right? We'll learn all these things. SQL testing. ඊට පස්සේ මට පුළුවන් DOS testing. DOS නම් වැඩක් නැහැ PA වලට. But let's see. DOS testing. Of course, backbone වල තියෙනවා වැදගත් subdomain testing කියන එක. Subdomain takeover. Subdomain sub takeover. Now, testing, right? Backbone can testing, right? Yeah. So now, basically, I can check this one. I can give a name for this one as well. This is basically parameter testing, parameter overloading or something, overloading. For the moment, I will add it to, I will make sure, yeah, it will just be there. That's okay. I have it. Now I can have the request here and I can either drop it or send it. But before I send it, I can do a lot of changes. You can see there are things that I can do change here. ID එක මෙහෙම යවන්නත් පුළුවන්. I can send it out if I want, of course, and I can check the response. I don't know what the response would be, but here I can test. It was okay, right? So see, I got a page. Maybe I get a web page, perfect web page with HTML preview. I'm not sure. I don't know whether exactly what it tries to refer to, but of course it can be IDO as well. Okay. So this is like the web page. So I can now change it. This is a UTM-ID. There are so many things. When you learn a little bit of web, how the HTML pages and all that, you can do some parameter changes now. I just change here rather than 6, I can put 7 and send and see whether there's a difference. So this is what you do in testing, but you can remember you can automate these things, right? It's also loading. So it's this UTM ID might not be a huge thing, but I can, I don't know, maybe put 34 and send, something like that. Maybe then it will broke. I don't know, right? So we need to test. And once you have the background knowledge, brilliant on your basics, you exactly know how it works and what happens. And of course, you can change the HubSpot to, I don't know, lakmal.com and send. You can do all those fun testing here. It's forbidden. See, you can't change the host and send it. Of course, obviously, because lakmal.com, even there's a website called lakmal.com, but you don't have a products get something web page. Or maybe Google try. Maybe they have a products dash set get started. I don't know. Okay, it's also not there. And Cloudflare is the firewall sort of. It says, oh, you can't do those funny things with us. I hope you got the base idea, right? So that's what you call a replay. Then I can automate it. Automate is like this intruder thing. So again, I go to intercept, I click here and I would send it to automate. And once I come here and let me create a new session. Oops. Create a session. I think it's kind of slow for some reason. So okay, let me try again. Send to automate. Okay, now it seems all right. No, some problem is there. For some reason, it's a bit stuck. Maybe there's some reason for it. I think we're in the right project. Everything is fine. Maybe there's some issue here for the moment, but you can try it out later. And the next one is, of course, workflows. This is also an amazing feature. We are going to talk about this in real detail later on. See, like you can try out so many things. As an example, you can put a shell code here. So once you intercept a web page, right, so you can do some graphical stuff as well. You can write your JavaScript code or a shell code here. And of course, you can use any other API calls. And in a web page, you can count even the images you have. sometimes maybe you don't know there are some hacking elements in it. So likewise, you can do so much of automation here. You can use shell, right? And you can use different types of code, and you can see, like, there are so many other changes that you can do. If you don't like shell, you can delete it, and basically you can add something like JavaScript here. So you can do parallel stuff, so all these things you can do, right? So in the JavaScript, of course, you can like coding like that. So, okay, that's enough. And then there are so many other things which you can talk about later. And of course, there are a lot of plugins here, guys, plenty, but you have to use them carefully because some of them are community built, right? So that's where, like MCP servers we talked about last time, specifically in LLM session. Yeah, but you can install them and use it in all fun stuff that you do. Yeah, almost like at the last 10 minutes. I really wanted to cover a lot more, but yeah, it takes a lot of time for different reasons. Right. Any questions up to this point? I hope you got the base idea, right? So we looked at now one particular scope, which is HubSpot, and at least we try to understand how we can now do testing with basic testing with a tool like Hido. And next week we can do the same with Burpsuit, and then we can start working in the bug bounty methodology. So when we really want to go to the methodology, we just touched on it today. When we give me a second, I'll get my PDF for this. Uh, Yeah, so next week we'll go through the methodology. This is the recon methodology. This is Jason Haddock's methodology. It's pretty detailed. So we are in the recon stage, right? So he also is doing Xmind. It's a mind map tool. So this is why I'm saying you have to do these things, right? So when you build up a project, this is Tesla that he tried. For me, it was HubSpot. So you have to understand what are the other root domains. And then ASNs, these are, of course, you have to understand a little bit on networking to understand that. Don't worry, we talk about it. And then acquisitions, which companies acquired by Tesla. And, so likewise, you have to build mind maps. We'll do that, don't worry, right? And see, it becomes quite bigger, So this is also where you can use AI tools as well. You can see number of different, domains they have. Marketing Tesla, live stream Tesla, invest Tesla. So we had a bit of a taste today on HubSpot, but we can use tools from Kali, and you can learn a lot more about how to get this subdomain enumeration. This is called subdomain enumeration. Enumerate කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ එකින් එක check කරලා බලනවා. ඉතින් අපිට එක එක හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ we have to go through other things. Scope domain acquisition. This is called ASN enumeration, reverse whois. We'll learn about these things and subdomains and different ports that they use and so many other. Basically, these are fact-finding mission. Private investigators මුලින් ගිහලා ෆොටෝ ගහනවා, right? Camera images හොයනවා. ඒ වගේ අපිට අදාළ අපි hack කරන යන කම්පැනි ගැන අපි හැම information එකම ගන්න ඕනේ. Some people even go and look at what people and how, social engineering සාමාන්‍යයෙන් allow කරන්නේ නැහැ bug bounty hunters ලට, right? නැත්නම් social engineering through lacing hack කරන්න පුළුවන්. But even those things, you can go through. Yes, I will share the PDF. No, nothing to worry. I'll give you all those things. And then, of course, finding roots. So we can use scope domains. So this is bug crowd එක අපි bug අද බලේ hacker one within Tesla. ඒගොල්ලෝ Tesla එකේ ඔක්කොම දෙනවා. Tesla CN China, I think, Tesla Motors, Tesla Services, everything. අප මේක තමයි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. Scope domain එක hacker one එකේ දීලා තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට පුළුවන් acquisition හොයාගන්න Crunchbase එකෙන්. අපි මේ ගැන කතා කරා first day එකේ. Yes, and ASN enumeration හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් මේ වගේ sites වල ගිහලා. People don't have a lot of networking background. It's called autonomous system numbers. මේක මෙහෙම තමයි internet එක කැලියට කඩලා තියෙන්නේ. We'll learn about networking stuff, nothing to worry, right? So there's a lot of fun things. If you wanted to go and have a quick look at today, what is it? Kaspersky Global Threat Map. Maybe you guys have seen this. Not only Kaspersky, McAfee, everybody is having it. You can see the whole wide world on this live map. එතකොට මේකේ පොඩ්ඩක් අර මේකේ visualization විතරක් නෙමෙයි මේ සමහර simulated content right? Samara real attacks. I think you guys are in Sri Lanka right now. Sri Lanka I මොන attacks යනවද මේ වෙලාවේ? Yeah, දැනට ලොකුවට නෑ. මං ඉන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන පර්ත් වල. මෙන්න මේ කෙරෝලේ මෙතන ඉන්නේ. Right? So yeah, මේ බොඩි බල්බ් එකක් තියෙන්නේ. Yeah, මෙතන attack වෙනවා වගේ පේනවා මොනවා හරි. ඉතින් වැඩිපුර ගොඩක් වෙලාට ලොකු attacks යන්නේ මේ හරිය තමයි. පේනවා ඔයගලන්ට. යුරෝප් වල සෑහෙන ගොඩක් වෙනවා. මේ ලංකාවත් එක ස්පොට් එකක් තමයි. ඉතින් නැත්තේ නෑ. හැබැයි වගේම ඉතින් ඊට පස්සේ ආයි ඇමරිකාවෙන් එහාට මෙහාට දුවනවා. ඒ වගේම මෙතන රෂ්‍යා, චයිනා, yeah, all the places you have it. So don't expect that this all to be real traffic, but most of it, yes, right? Because this is their business. Kaspersky's business, right? තමයි මේගොල්ලොත් කරනවා ඇති එක. And you can see almost the 13 most attacked countries. Yeah, yeah. So you have most of it here. Yeah. So ඒ වගේම අපිට පුළුවන් මේ ANS record, so you can basically go and learn about all these things. Nothing to worry. And we'll learn. Don't worry too much about these things. And ASN enumeration. So there are tools to do that. We'll use these tools. You have everything in Kali. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට වෙන ගොඩක් options පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. අද මම කතා කරේ නැහැ Windows subsystem වල මේ ඒවත් පාවිච්චි කරලා Windows ඇතුළත් Kali දුවන්න පුළුවන් without VM tools, right? And there's a tool called AMAS. You can try this out. All these things next week we'll do for a one particular company. Maybe HubSpot, we can keep doing that for HubSpot for 1 or 2 weeks. And if really somebody wants, try doing this for a different company. Other may have more, like we have another 3 minutes to go. No, thank you for almost like we had 20 plus. Now we have 14, but still you guys are there. Others who are watching the video, Nikang in EPA, right? You guys should go to HackerOne, Bugcrowd, whatever you like. Please, get something. ඊට පස්සේ මේක පටන් ගන්න මොන හරි කරන්න. හැබැයි ડોකියුමන්ට් කරන්න. හැම එකම ෂෙයා කරන්න යන්න එපා කාත් එක්කවත්. ඒක අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ડોකියුමන්ට් කරන්න. ඔක්කොම වැඩේ කරලා යම් සිලෙවල් එකට ෂෙයා කරන්න. I think for all these details we are not I think no, like I realize that WhatsApp is not the best place to share like this frequent discussions sort of stuff. You can do, but I will create a Discord channel. Probably you guys know about Discord. Discord is probably the best place to do like this very frequent type of communication, question answering. And also there are so much of things for me to share as well. So every day, like if I start sharing about stuff in WhatsApp, it will be too much of a problem for you. Messages එකකින් කියන එක. ඉතින් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ major discussions we can do it here in Discord, right? So this is Kaido's one Discord channel. So you can see there are different channels, general stuff. You can go there, and there are a lot of people here, right? There are around, I don't know how many, thousands of people are here. And you can see like, they build tools, you can talk with them, and then you have bugs, features, and plugins, different plugins developed. And then of course, POC generators. So there's a lot of things, 403 bypasses. So once you go there and, talk with these guys, and of course, remember, you can have voice channels, voice communication. And yeah, so there are different channels you can listen to. And similarly, Hugging Face, there's a Discord channel. Similarly, I'll also create a Discord channel. I'll give you information for all three of my sessions, one for AI, one for cybersecurity, and one for startups and research. I'll create channels. If you're interested, you can join. I'm not just pushing you, but because we can pull a lot of content, like share, like as an example, when you get books, PDFs, we can share through. We can do it in WhatsApp as well, but some people might have problems when you share a lot of things in WhatsApp. Maybe it's disturb them. Of course, you can make it silence, but that's something that we can do. It's almost 12 for me, but it's 9:30. It's your dinner time. So let me summarize things. What you're supposed to do, even though there's a lot to show, but I don't have time. You have to now go and do at least what I've asked you to do in this session. This is where we start our bug bounty journey. So in summary, යන්න HackerOne එකට කියවන එක document කරන්න. You can use a tool like Obsidian. If you don't have money, please download Obsidian. This one, it's free tool. There's marvelous things you can do with Obsidian as well. It's a markdown writer, and you can, without paying money for Rome research or anything else, you can document everything from markdown in Obsidian. Take a bit of a time to load. Yeah. And obviously, the second thing is use a tool, use Kali and use Kaido and use Burpsuit, and try doing a bit of everyday testing with the domains. At least do some of those things. And I really wanted to show you about Cursor, how I developed the framework. Today, we have less time now, so next week I will show you this. So this is like the next level, right? So you can do so much of things with this and run these things faster, so fast. But remember, I'll stop from the place where I started. Know the basics, know the fundamentals. Then you can do a lot of things faster. That's the whole logic. And there's a lot more to talk about, but at least get the message. You need to start. Everyone, please. So when you do the Discord, even WhatsApp, it's okay to share initially. If you find something interesting, if you've done something, please, if there's something to show to others, please do. එක්කෙනෙක් හරි WhatsApp එකේ Discord එකේ දාන්න පටන් ගත්තාම අනිත් කට්ටත් පොඩි motivation එකක් ඒවි. Okay, this bugger has done something, I also need to do. Because end of the day, if you do this with the discipline for, say, a few months, 2 months, 3 months, some people maybe a few weeks, for some people 3 to 5 months, you can earn $1,000 to $10,000. That's a lot of money, guys. Forget about the monetary implication initially, but it will build up a good portfolio to you. You will learn everything and you can work for a big company without any problem. When you have one single bounty, they means people who are interviewing you surely would know you have the potential talent. Even you're going for coding job, AI job, still they know, okay, this is not simple. There should be good discipline. It shows so many things about you, right? So please, people who are even listening to this video, make a video, YouTube, please guys, try to start doing something. And if you maybe like done it for some time, and please teach others. It's not only me who is teaching. Somebody requests, okay, sir, Lakmal, I can teach 15 minutes for somebody else in this session. I'm happily give the time to you. Okay, any questions? I don't want to take you long. Yep. So we will surely have per month, like we'll have on a weekend, probably every month or so, we'll have like a few hour session, 5 to 6 hour session where we get few hours and we'll do a live bounty sort of CTF end to end, right? There should be some more people to communicate, meaning like not only for me to discuss things, somebody can come and show how to do a kind of subdomain takeover. Likewise, we'll set up a kind of a forum sort of a thing. We get more people involved, 100 of people, and do live testing, live scanning, sharing and having fun and all that, right? Okay, that's my next objective. Yeah, so keep on working, have the discipline and record everything. Make a loom hari or obsidian da record kala බලන්න මාසෙකට පස්සේ කරපු මෝඩ වැඩ කෝඩ් එක ලියද්දි කොච්චර තටමනවද කියලා බලන්න. ඒක බැලුවම තේරෙනවා okay, I have improved. මේක කියන්න තේරෙන දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. ඔන්න ඔය change එකෙන් තමයි confidence එක කියන එක එන්නේ. Confidence is the key කියලා හැමෝම අහලා ඇතිනේ. Discipline එක තමයි හැමදේම හදන්නේ. හැබැයි එකෙන් එන්නේ something called confidence. විශ්වාසය කියන එක. විශ්වාසය පරමා ඥාති කියලා කියනවා. ඉතින් කවුරුත් අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ඒකට විශ්වාසය තියෙනවා නම් if you have that confidence and trust and everything, you can do a lot of things. Enough, right? Okay, guys. Any questions? Any last questions? All good. So we'll meet on Thursday. Friday session probably I will take to Wednesday because I'll be coming to Sri Lanka on Friday. So yeah, that's about it. There's no questions. We'll stop the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. See you.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.